and became the first North Korean leader to cross the DMZ into South Korea in an attempt to go into peace talks over the North Korean peninsula. Speculation is that North Korea won't give up their nuclear arms, but that, perhaps we might be in for a surprise. Once Trump wakes up and, gets on the Twitter, we'll see what we're in for. Um, he's been praising the leader recently, so, perhaps he might shock the world and North Korea might actually surprisingly give up their nuclear arms. The story won't really develop until the president does wake up. At least it won't develop in the Western world. Um, and I mean, it is already 2 a.m., so he should be up tweeting and popping them off like bottles at the club, but it's not really happening right now. I don't really see anything, happening on the feed right now. So I guess, might have to wait a couple of hours here. And the last thing he was talking about was like 6 hours, just about the World Cup. So, maybe there's a hidden message in there, kind of just shifting focuses because he knew that, something's about to happen the next day. It's my 2 cents on it. So I guess it's exciting though, to see these walls of long sustaining wars crumble, and if North and South Korea are able to come into a peace treaty, that would be amazing because that border is one of the most violent borders in the world. It is not friendly. So, if they're able to somehow get rid of that, it would be great. And I think, that could set a great example for other nations that are in conflict to follow. Of course, not Israel, though. I don't think that conflict could ever get resolved. I mean, no matter who's involved. I mean, I think we were as close as we'd ever get to ever really seeing a peace treaty in the Middle East in the '90s. But it kind of just seems like there's always going to be some sort of a friction there, and looking at the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, it'll just develop over time the same way that in the States we have the Republican, Democrats, lefty, righty, conservative, liberal struggles. It's the same thing, except they carry guns on the streets over there because, well, those are soldiers walking around, and you don't really see that here in the Western world unless you live in a military town. I mean, and there are few and proud scattered across this country. So that's kind of it's kind of cool. It's great that there isn't just one voice here, that there isn't just one way to live, that there is enough space in this side of the world, for so many beliefs to coexist. And I mean, honestly, I get the same feeling when I'm out there too. I mean, when I just look at the geography, it's like, oh my God, this country, Israel, is just so beautiful. It's so lush. There's so much green. It's not what you would expect, and there's all of this free space there. And so, why are these people fighting about just a tiny piece of land? There's like so much everywhere that could be shared there, and I mean, there's there's plenty of land around Jerusalem. I mean, I I, like aside from the, I guess from the historical monuments that you can't really, that you're not allowed to touch there, I mean, you can't do anything to the mosque. You can't do anything to the Western Wall. You can't take down any of those. And, those are historical monuments, and that comes with a lot of privilege. And so, despite having, having those monuments there that kind of, they become taboo if another culture is to enter those monuments. I mean, heck, even within the respective cultures, there are taboos where those monuments can be disrespected. I mean, I see Jews, like screaming at Jews, being upset with other Jews when they're at the Western Wall because they just like don't know how to. They just do something that rubs the other person wrong. Like a woman wearing a yarmulke is gonna rub some like really ultra orthodox Jews the wrong way. And yeah, that's really it. That's kind of just my 2 cents today. It's nice to see these world leaders talking about putting their conflicts to an end, but then again, there are just some places where no matter what you do, it will never stop.